Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors unto the elders who rule well and taught me this truth. Salutations to the Yakim on the highways and hedges, furthering this truth and sincerity indeed. To the Akwath who support us and stay surrounded by this truth. To the scattered of Yahshua across the four corners of the earth, a stumbling block to those outside of this ministry. This is Counselor Dawad, the real brother beloved, and this is only for the elect.
Only for the elect.
Buenas mundo.
I'm Israel Rivera. Filling in for Chester Colt, this is nighttime news. We're clearly at the end of this thing. The famine of the word is near. Before you know it, there will be no YouTube. The truth is getting out and Esau is plenty uncomfortable. For all the brothers and a few sisters that follow, stay diligent. Keep your eyes open for the unfolding of these prophecies, and pay attention to the news, filtering it through the scriptures. The mark of the beast is the RFID microchip. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians and those that look like the other nations but believe, accept and live by this truth are the true children of Israel. And Esau, that red devil, is a goddamn lie. Get educated, stay wise, raise up.
Hasta luego, familia.
This is only for the elect.
Shalom Israel, this is Daniel Ashabal, and this is the God Report. Tonight, we're introducing a new segment of the broadcast called, Notice the Similarities. Tonight, we expose the striking similarities between Judaism and Islam. Let's take an inside look. There is a common misconception that Muslims and Jews have been at odds for hundreds of years, and their conflict, an eternal one, can never be resolved. However, this is historically inaccurate. Case in point. Both Muslims and Jews lived harmoniously under the Moors in Spain for several centuries, together in unity, in adherence to their most notable similarity, their belief that the Most High Power has no son. Don't make the mistake of conflating the Israeli-Palestinian conflict with the observance of Islam and Judaism.
Crash Course World History, and today we're going to talk about Israel and Palestine, hopefully without a flame war. Yeah, big ask, Mr. Green. I mean, that fight goes back thousands and thousands of years. Except thousands of years ago, there wasn't an Islam yet, so yeah, no. Also, let me submit that very little of this conflict between Israel and Palestine over the last several decades has been about, theological differences between Islam and Judaism. No one's arguing about whether the most important prophets descended from Abraham's son Isaac or his son Ishmael, right? It's not about whether to fast during Yom Kippur or Ramadan. It's about land.
Before being at what appears to be an irreconcilable difference, following the controversial Balfour Declaration of 1948, there were very few wars waged between Muslims and Jews. That being said, the two faiths share more in common than most have been led to believe, with the narrative of hate speech and crime being focused on anti-Semitism and Islamophobia around the world. It is important to understand what these similarities in faiths mean for the rest of us. The Quran refers to Jews, as well as the so-called Christians, as people of the book, meaning that they have a special place and treatment because of their similar beliefs with Muslims. Islam allows for Muslim men to marry Jewish or Christian women. Jews believe that Moses is the greatest of all prophets, and although the focal point for Muslims is the life, times and writings of the Prophet Muhammad, Muslims also rely on Moses, who in fact is the prophet most mentioned in the Quran, that the consideration of Jerusalem as a holy city, circumcision, dietary restrictions and the encouragement of modesty and hair covering for women in practice of faith, is also eerily similar. Because these two faiths are strictly monotheistic in nature, they both do not consider Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, to be divine. They both consider it blasphemous to attribute a little son to Yahweh. However, unlike Jews, Muslims believe that Yahushua was a great prophet, and that his mother Mary was the greatest of all women. However, taking all that into consideration, there is still one more important, if not the most important reference to make, when drawing a connection based on their similarities. It is what makes it possible for both to concede any foregoing conflict and unite together in their global agenda of a unified religious reform. Their shared background in occult mysticism, esoteric wisdom, and the origins of Freemasonry.
Open to me the gates of righteousness. I will go into them, and I will praise the Lord, this gate of the Lord into which the righteous shall enter. I will praise thee, for thou hast heard me, and art become my salvation. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes.